Here is a top 20 of the Mediterranean cruise ports that Doris Visits has enjoyed visiting. To see the full videos, just search Doris Visits, then the name of the port, anywhere in the world. Here's the Mediterranean.
This statue in the middle of Virgin Square is to represent the river which flowed over where the park is, but was then diverted after the Great Floods in October in 1957. So this is the church in the Square of the Virgin, and it's beautiful inside. I used to love reading historical novels about the Borgias. They were so wicked. They all slept with each other. They were incestuous. They poisoned each other. And there were only 2 popes from Valencia, and one of them was Alexander Borgia. In theory, if I walk to the very end of this park, it's 47 minutes, I'll come out to where the shuttle bus stops. The market closes at 3, so if you want to go and visit the market, you need to go in the morning. We've just had a very interesting walking tour where we learned that paella is not the Spanish national dish. It's from Valencia, and the Spanish national dish is Spanish omelette. Also, we learned that paella does not have seafood in it. It has chicken and rabbit and garlic, a little bit of garlic. That is the traditional paella, and no chorizo, Jamie Oliver.
The shuttle bus is at the end of the port, and the train is the cheapest way to get to Rome.
Under information saying train tickets to Rome, what it's actually trying to sell you is a hop-on, hop-off bus tour.
But if you want a train ticket, just go straight into the station.
If you want to visit the Vatican, get off at San Pietro. The lights are on until midnight.
We'll show you the angels and demons clues that apply a little later on, because there is so much to see.
The bridges, apart from the Vatican, are probably the most spectacular part of Rome.
And when you get to the building that looks a bit like a cake, well, that's the court building. If you keep that behind you and cross the Umberto Bridge and carry on straight, you'll come to Piazza Navona.
The Piazza Navona is a great place to come, particularly at lunchtime, because there are lots of lovely cafes, but there are great water features and statues here as well.
These are the churches that we passed on our first walk up to Navarro Square.
The only bigger man-made dome than that one on the Icon of the Seas is the one on the Pantheon. There are different queues to go into the Pantheon. The best way is to scan the QR code that's outside, pay online, and then you go straight in through the middle. The Colosseum is one of the most popular tourist attractions in Rome. It's depicted on the Italian €5 coin and is one of the new 7 wonders of the world. The best view of the beautiful Trevi Fountain is from the clothes shop over the road, upstairs in the children's department. So there are a number of ways to spell Kefalonia, but let's assume that this one could be right. As you come off the ship, there's a little tourist office where they're very helpful and they give you a map. The bus stop couldn't be closer to the ship, and there's also a taxi rank right beside it. If you just want a little tour of the town for €7, you can jump on this train. You can explore Argostoli, the capital of Kefalonia, in 30 minutes. You see the bridge, the lagoon, the natural park, the central square, the archaeological museum, the city hall, the pedestrian course of Livostroto, the cathedral, and the Catholic Church of St. Nicholas, all in 30 minutes. Just a short way past the bus stop, you'll come to the main road. Let's go and have an explore. Charles Le Boffet was responsible for this stone bridge which separates the lagoon, a great breeding ground for turtles, from Argostoli Bay. How do I stop? How do I stop?
The highlights are Assos and Biscardo Village, the Melisani Lake and Caves, St Andrew's Monastery and Rabolla Winery, where you can sample some local wine, Sami, where they made Captain Corelli's mandolin, or the Castle of St George, which used to be the old capital. Or you can just come for a walk with me.
Just like in life, you can turn left or right. In Kefalonia, it's the same. You can turn left and go to the city, or you can turn right and have all this nature and go to the sinkholes and the watermill. Whoop! This is a great map of the excavation layers of Troy, and it looks like there were at least 9 layers. We've arrived at Troy. It's about 5 minutes away from the museum in the coach. The important positioning of the land of Troy meant that it was occupied for over 3,000 years. So there was Troy 1, Troy 2, right up to Troy 9, and they're all standing on top of each other. Mud bricks are the ones in the middle. They're the original ones. Not only was the harbour close, but this area got flooded more than once, and they found lots of seashells around here. You can imagine this was the harbour wall, and the ships were there that made Troy such a wealthy nation, but also destroyed Troy because the mud brought mosquitoes, and the mosquitoes killed them. In the early excavations, they basically cut a trench through the hill, and they were looking for gold and stones, and what they did was destroyed what was here. God, I bet it's killing heat here in, real hot summer. These are the legendary walls from Troy 6, and if Helen did exist, she would have existed within these walls at that time. It's a harbour city. The ship's right behind me. You don't need a shuttle bus, you just walk straight in, and we're going to explore. We've sailed down the Messina Straits before, but we've never stopped here, so this time we're lucky. The hop-on, hop-off bus is right by the harbour gates, and it's normally discounted because of the competition from the trolley train. I learned from this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina. Much Ado About Nothing, William Shakespeare. The Norman Messina Cathedral, with its Gothic portal and 15th century windows, stands right next to the clock tower, and together they are the most important landmarks of Messina. We've got this beautiful view down over the square, and they're playing a concert outside the church down there. If you love churches, you'll be in heaven here, and we've come on a Sunday. How lucky is that? Found the beach. At the end of the tram line, just past the first beach, is the regional museum. The entrance for the museum is at the side. You come around the side. The most ancient historic temple in Western Greece dates back to the 6th century BC and was built for Apollo. And just behind it is a market. In the middle of the square is this beautiful fountain for Artemis, or Diana in English. Very clever idea in Sicily. They know the grandparents are coming, and they can embroider your name on anything so you can take it home, personalised gift. Wow.
The cathedral is the core of Syracuse.
Another lovely sunny day, and we're off to find the bus for Chania.
The locally organised bus is at the port. The other options are a taxi or the hop-on, hop-off bus, if there's one there.
€3.40 return to Chania.
Chania is a very relaxing port, and one that's easy to walk around and explore yourself.
The bus from the cruise ship will drop you off just in this square opposite the statue and right across from the old market, which is the heart of the city. The original marketplace was completed in 1913, not that long ago. We're going to follow the sign towards the old town, which is over there. The Cathedral of Iconium was built on the site of an older temple of the Presentation of the Virgin Mary. When the Turks occupied Chania, it was converted into a soap factory, and now it's back to a cathedral again.
The different areas. Is the blue line around the whole port. The medium have €10 different, but it's double.
The Venetian harbour is a brilliant place to just sit, have a coffee and people watch.
So welcome to the land of genuine fakes. Let us show you around. First up, we'll show you Pigeon Island. Just outside it is the bus stop to Ladies Beach, although you can do the 3-mile walk over the hill. Beyond Ladies Beach is the water park, and down below that is the dive centre. If you turn left off the ship and care to walk along the promenade, you're in for a real treat.
This is the Archaeological Museum right by Ephesus. This is a model of the Temple of Artemis. It was one of the 7 wonders of the world. It was made of marble.
And some will have you believe this building burnt down. Fake news. We'll tell you later.
One of the 7 wonders of the world, or was one of the 7 wonders of the world.
Let's start by leaving the ship. And very few ports in the world, like Stavanger, Trieste, Messina or Rhodes, are as close as Kusadasi port is to the excitement.
So in Kusadasi you can buy genuine, fake, anything, including watches. We've actually arrived in Mykonos. It's the first time we've got in, and now we can get the shuttle bus, which is over there with the tour coaches, or we can get the sea bus, which is €2. You can sit on the top on the deck, or you can sit below and it's glass bottom. I'll show you.
The boat is actually more fun than the bus. Now, if you want to visit the sacred island, you need to get your skates on, go across early.
If you want to visit Delos, the sacred island, which is an island of ruins, go at 10 o'clock in the morning. You'll be back by 1:30, and then you'll have time to visit Mykonos during the rest of the day.
I was just about to tell you that. All Jean's films are full of great facts.
So the ship stops up here, and the shuttle bus took us all around the bay, and we've stopped about here, and we're going off to explore. This is what's in the town. Please don't forget, like and subscribe Doris Visits. Mykonos Castle. This incredible settlement has been here since at least the Neolithic age, and it's looking out over the stunning Aegean Sea. This island is absolutely idyllic. It's stunning. Everywhere you look, it's like out of a storybook. Close to the ship, there's apparently a monastery at the point. There's a beach very nearby, and very close to the ship there's a small beach. Please subscribe to this channel and like this film.
The biggest tip, every step you walk up and down on the main street is numbered, so if you lose a friend or you have an accident, you can refer to the number of the step.
Local buses to almost anywhere in Santorini.
But even though we've told you that, you're probably going to walk into Fira and walk up and down the alleyways and look at the restaurants and the view and the houses.
These beautiful cobbled streets and the picturesque buildings are why people come to Santorini.
There are a number of galleries, wonderful galleries, hidden in these walkways. So don't mind the first one. Look, discover, and find the best price.
Wow. Shops have so many tempting things to buy.
You can get a bus to your destination and walk back.
Now you can come up on this cable car, but unfortunately it's not running today because of the recent earthquake. At Vulcan on the Rocks, just behind the restaurant, is the open-air cinema, and just by it is the Atlantis bookshop. I'm looking for Stuart St Paul's cruise ship crime mystery dramas. Welcome to the port of Malaga. The rent-a-bike, Segway tours couldn't be more conveniently located. You can do a panoramic train ride around the port. Such a good idea. There are vapor sprays to keep you cool. And the Malaga Park has the best collection of tropical and subtropical flora and fauna in the whole of the Mediterranean. We got a map from the tourist office, and this is the main street in Malaga, and this is where we're starting our tourist walk. The cathedral looks beautiful in this evening light. This is the Picasso Museum. It's 7 o'clock in the evening and there's still a queue. This is the amphitheatre, and behind us are the castle walls.
Check out our film on Mijas. It's a town very near to Malaga and it's beautiful. The red top bus, which leaves just up the hill from the port, will take you all the way to Nice. But there's enough to see in Villefranche. This citadel was built in 1557.
In La Porte de la Sante is St Peter's Chapel, which was built by the fishermen and was decorated by Jean Cocteau. The Rue d'Obscur dates back to the 14th century. It's 130 metres long. It's a covered passageway, and it acted as a sort of defensive passageway. If you come into Villefranche-sur-Mer on train, you come in right next to the beach. Do you know, I probably would never have come here if I came to the Riviera, but it's absolutely charming, so I'm so glad I came on this cruise. We come down to the beach today. If you turn left at the marina park where we got off and just stroll along, the beaches get better and better the further you go.
As a cruiser, you'll get to Athens over and over again, and each time you do, you'll find something new.
As we walked away from the main taxi rank, we got offered a taxi for €10 to the Acropolis, which is really cheap. So this is wonderfully near Syracuse station, which is just behind the museum you can see in front of us. The flea market is to the left. Plaka Square is behind the museum. Views of the Acropolis are on the hill.
Acropoli e Templo Partenone.
Is that the temple of Herodes Atticus? We're heading back to Syntagma Square. The square is opposite, Parliament is behind you, and everything is signposted. Outside the Parliament buildings, we're so lucky to see the changing of the guard, and they must be so hot. They've got thick white tights on. So this is the top of Areopagus Hill. It's very slippy to climb, and there's no easy access. If you want to take a picture of the Acropolis, the best place to take it is from the top of this hill, because when you're up there, it'll be very hard to get the whole thing in the frame. We've arrived at Paphos. It's a tender port, where the castle is right near where the tender stops. Hello. You're not going to bite me, are you? What? You can really imagine the layout, how it was. These pillars they've uncovered just really give the atmosphere, the Greek atmosphere. You can either turn left and go to the beach down by the archaeological site, or you can turn right, and it's quite a long walk, but there are nice beaches at the other end of the bay. So up the drawbridge we go. The original castle was destroyed in the earthquake, and it was rebuilt in the 13th century in the port. Welcome to Palma in Mallorca. There are 4 ships in today. If you want to avoid the queues for the shuttle bus, you can hire a bike just outside the port. This is also where you get the hop-on, hop-off bus. Your shuttle bus will drop you just opposite the Gothic cathedral.
Lassù is the more common name for the Gothic Cathedral of Santa Maria of Palma. It's right next to the sea, and so is the palace. You can see all of these things easily in one day.
This way. We're starting our tour of the Almudena Palace, which is mainly Moorish, and this is the Hall of the Fireplaces. Guess why? The Great Hall is the largest room in the palace and is where the Council of Ministers took place. The Arab baths date back to approximately 10th century and are the only remaining monuments of the Muslims on the island. We're leaving the baths and the Arab quarter through the medieval gate. The Plaza Mayor is buzzing and well worth a visit.
Steeped in history, this Spanish gem is tucked in a deep bay guarded by 2 cliff-top fortresses. When you get off your ship, the town is right in front of you.
In Ajaccio at 9 o'clock, the electric train is very busy and you're queuing. But at 2 o'clock, it's begging for customers. So, good idea to leave it till the afternoon. This is the main statue of him, and everywhere there are roads called Napoleon, pictures of Napoleon. This is where he lived, and they're obviously very proud of that.
My 4th cruise thriller, Cruise Ship Art Theft, was set partly here in Ajaccio. Right, let's get off to the vineyard. We're going to get the number 2 because it came along first, but the number 4 will get you closer to the vineyard.
So the bus fare is €1 per person. How fortuitous that we've gone on a bus adventure and ended up in a vineyard.
So unlike Eugene to stumble across another glass of wine, or in this case, 6 glasses of wine. Do check the opening times of this vineyard because it does often close for lunch between 12 and 2. And follow Doris Visits. Thank you.
What do you like best?
Queen Victoria!
Welcome to Cartagena, port of culture. First populated in 227 BC, it was important to the Romans, and from the 16th century, it was a very important Spanish naval port. The world's first submarine, which went to sea in 1888, is a big feature of the Naval Museum. The castle and the Naval Museum are the 2 big features of Cartagena. Between the port and the Naval Museum is Heroes Square. Cartagena is continually being excavated. The amphitheatre was only discovered by accident in 1980. Plaza del Toros is a ball ring built in 1854, and it looks like it's being renovated. You don't need to wear a Fitbit to know you've done a few steps here. Whew. Castle of Conception is a 13th century castle. Last time we came to Cartagena, we took the Segway, which is a much easier way of going up and down. The grounds of the castle and the park are free to roam around, and from here you get a breathtaking view of the amphitheatre. Your ship will dock here in the cruise terminal. Just walk along by the sea and you'll come to the old town with the new fortress and the old fortress. The new fortress is still a working naval base and it's huge. The new fortress is separated from the old fortress by the market, and we're going to take a walk through now. The old fortress is this way. Dates back to the 6th century AD. Let's take a look. This mid-1800s construction was the British Army barracks. St Spyridon's Church is the most important church in Corfu. It houses the remains of the saint and is still a site of pilgrimage. Beyond the Asian Art Museum is the Esplanade. It's a perfect, spacious area built by the Venetians, ideal for walking, drinking, eating. There are loads of cafes. It boasts a bandstand, and I'm now looking for the Liston. It's the trendy part of town. The Liston is a terrace of arcaded buildings built by the French.
If you want to see Jean's whole film on Corfu, it's on the Doris Visits YouTube channel. Jean?
This may well be where your shuttle bus drops you. It's opposite the old fortress, and the old town is over there.
Time to get back to the Azura.
It's a container dock, so you're not allowed to walk inside the dock. You have to get a shuttle bus to the edge of the port. Then you can either follow the yellow line into town, you can follow the coastal road all along to the stadium and see the beaches, or you can get a public bus and go to the Palace of Knossos. We're going to show you all three. It's cheap and it's easy.
You may be dropped in this square, but you can get a bus or walk. The hop-on, hop-off bus, it's not a big tour, and Jean showed you most of the stop.
Another stop on the hop-on, hop-off bus is the Natural History Museum, and the bus then turns up into the town. The problem with the hop-on, hop-off bus is they're not very frequent. It's every 40 minutes. The actual whole tour is only an hour, but if you get off, you've got to wait another 40 minutes for the bus. So you might want to walk to the Morosini Fountain. It was founded in 1629 in the Venetian period, and this little square is full of cafes.
One of the main tours offered in Heraklion is one to Santorini. Well, here's the connection. The lost city of Atlantis.
Knossos is the largest palace in Crete. It was built about 1900 BC, but destroyed by 1700 BC. You are going to have to negotiate some steps, even though it's bordered and there are walkways.
Rhodes really is one of those amazing ports where you just walk off the ship and you're in the town. The old town.
Within a few hundred yards of the ship, you're in the old city. There's everything here, from traditional Greek art to designer names to taverns. This used to be the Courts of Justice, but it's now a library and the Cellar of the Knights, where you can taste the wine before you buy. This square is directly behind Marine Gate. Through the arch you'll find the Folk Museum, the Gunpowder Magazine, and further down the Art Gallery. Opposite the Art Gallery is the Temple of Aphrodite. This little place is where Mussolini wanted to make a holiday home. It has 150 rooms. It's called the Palace of the Grand Masters. So this is a beautiful shop, and Captain Nicholas here, he not only makes the jewellery and his sister makes the jewellery, but you can also go out on his fishing boat.
The unexpected is dark, intense and sophisticated. It blends pulse-pounding action with emotionally rich character drama, balancing suspense, sharp humour and cultural insight. It's layered with complexity and always emotionally resonant, where freedom dances on the edge of betrayal. The cruise crime novel with espionage, out now on Kindle, paperback and audiobook.